Daniel's desk. Daniel's desk. Daniel's desk.
This is Daniel's desk.
Hello and welcome to the next episode of Daniel's Desk. Today I have Johnny Sibilly, who is an Instagram celebrity or influencer, or what, I don't know what they call them nowadays, but one of those Instagram folk who's going to chat with me about his process behind all of his videos. He also does some acting work, so we're going to chat about that as well. So Johnny, thank you for coming on.
Oh, wait.
Yes. Now
Cheers.
drink.
Thanks for having me.
I had to give that directive to someone the other day. It was my last guest. I was like, "What? You had to drink when you're cheersing."
I love it.
So, Johnny, I want to start off with, what was your idea for this Instagram account? Kind of, was it always an idea to get you famous? Was it just like circumstance? How did it come about?
Well, the stuff that I do now came about. I mean, I had Instagram like everyone else. It was just, but I didn't have like my own voice, or like I didn't know what I liked on Instagram, so I just did what everyone else did. The coffee pictures and the pictures of the food and the shirtless selfies, and that all those things that just never felt like organically me. Like, so I started watching like funny videos on Instagram, and that would always make me really happy, and I would keep going back and I'd research funny videos, and then that's what I started posting. And then it got to a point where I was like, I want to make a video or like do something, and then that just catapulted into more and more, and people started watching and paying attention. But it was never like a concerted like, I'm gonna do this. I want to be famous for Instagram at all. Like I was never. I mean, I don't think I'm famous at all. I'm just. It was never an idea that I had.
But so you would just watch videos and say, I'm funnier than that person.
No.
No, that's real though. Like,
Right,
listen,
well-
I watch videos and I'm like, I'm funnier than that person. Why do I have 1 million subscribers? Like, that, you don't, come on.
I mean, there's people that I would see and I would admire them, and yeah, there have been times where I'm like, I could do that, and not in a way like, let me take this bitch's wig.
No,
you know what I mean?
But like a confidence thing.
Yeah, no. I was like, and I grew up watching like Eddie Murphy and John Leguizamo and Martin Lawrence, who would always dress up in different characters and be themselves, and that was always an inspiration for me growing up. So it's like it was just second nature for me.
Fair
To do, yeah.
Wait, so what is your inspiration for your posts? Like, is it like what's the most relevant topic? Is it just kind of what pops into your head?
Yeah, like the characters that I've created for my stuff are things that I've either thought of before this all came about, or I'm like, this would make a funny skit, or conversations that I'll have with friends. Like I have this character named Megan who gets stood up all the time, and she really needs a win, and she loves love, and that that's come from one of them was that she got stood up after a date, and that I've gotten stood up before, and I was like, this would be funny, and just using that and then making something funny out of it, or trying to make levity out of it.
Wait, so you got stood up before?
Of course.
Who was setting you up?
Are you kidding? Oh, and plenty of people have stood me up.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about dating.
You know who you are.
Right? We're gonna talk about dating in a moment.
Okay.
But still more on your posts. How long does a typical post take you to create? From initial in your head to it's on Instagram.
Well, some mornings I'll wake up and I'll think of something and I'll just do it right then and there, and I'll shoot it, because what I do is I don't really script things out. I just I love improv, so I'll just set the camera up and I'll just go, and then after
It's just you? You don't have a team?
No. Oh. I mean, there's things that I do recently, like I've paired with certain companies and stuff, and then I'll get a team. But the way that it started was just me, my cracked iPhone, and a dream. So I'm kidding. But it was just that's it. And everything, when I started, everything I did was I would edit it on my iPhone, shoot it on my iPhone, and just go. That's all you need.
Yeah. So if you're saying someone out there is watching, they want to do something similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't need to hire a team. I've got a big team.
Not at all. Well, that's the thing with me. Before I started doing these things, I used to think, oh, but I don't have a nice camera. Oh, but I don't have the studio. And then, you just get to a point where you're just like, let me just make something and have fun. And that was the big thing for me. It was fun for me to do. I have fun doing it in my house with my iPhone, and I don't need anything else.
But how did your first video do? Did it flop, or was it a major success?
Well, for me, I think the reason certain videos did well in the beginning were because I was always posting selfies and trying to look attractive and like, you know, the thing.
The pincer.
So then when I like became a goofball, people were like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were like that." Or someone told me one day at a party, "Oh, I didn't know you were funny," and I'm like,
I'm not just a pretty face. I say that all the time.
You know, it was one of those things that, like, you know, obviously at first it wasn't, you know, this whole idea of viral. That was pretty new to me. I did not until you go viral. For me, I didn't understand what that was. I thought that was something that other people did.
Yeah.
But then I had one video, the first video that ever went viral, got like 1 million views. And
what is viral? Is viral, like, what's the metric? Is it 1 million views?
Well, no, I would say like if you get thousands and thousands of views, it's viral.
Okay.
I guess.
So not 1 million.
I don't know
like
the
you'd
actual.
say a couple, like a couple 100,000 viral.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, 100,000 views is a lot. Like that's a lot of people watching. So. And you know, I never paid attention to that before until it got big, and I was like, oh shit, people are watching this, you know, and yeah, I don't know.
Fair. Wait, so tell us about the process. What happened when you did that first video, and then the second video? What happened?
Well, I did a couple videos before, you know, the first one went like all over the place, and it was mostly like couple things, like, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend stuff. I'd play the girl and the boy. And that was a lot of things that I would see on Instagram. And I was like, and that's one of those things I was like, I can do that. But one of the I think the one that did the best in the beginning was straight girls at gay bars.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, the first viral video I ever did because we've all seen that girl and we've all, you know, been there. And that was after like years of being at the bars and seeing all the girls like, you're so cute. Like, you know, and it was
all
always,
the cute ones are gay.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. And I'm like, no, they're not. You know what I mean? But it was like, it was that love of that person, that character, that brought me, and you know, I guess we don't really see much of that, like, you know, on Broad City and things like that. We have, but
yeah. So how many characters do you have?
I mean,
Megan, and then
well, the only ones that I've done are like Megan, and then the Julissa character, which is like the Latina, which actually spawned out of a conversation with a friend of mine who was looking for like love advice. You know, you talk to your friends about, oh, I got this guy who, like, you know, sucks and blah blah blah. But it was like, I should turn this into a character. I'm giving you all this love advice.
Yeah.
So like for me, Megan is like the, you know, I always say, if you can't handle me at my Megan, you don't deserve me at my Julissa. Because Julissa's like confident and like, you know, self-assured, and then Megan's not, like, at all.
Fair. Okay, so going to like metrics, do you look at your Instagram metrics to determine what is, you know, doing well, when you should post, all that fun stuff?
I try not to do that because I don't want the idea of like, oh, when is this gonna, like, is this gonna be a hit, to affect the creativity. So like, the only time I'll like really look into it and delve into that is when I'm like partnering with someone else or a company and they need to know numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, I try not to like look at that stuff because I don't want it to hinder the ideas that come out.
Fair.
Because not everything is going to be good.
Yeah.
And that's okay, and that's what's fun about it, is because there's certain videos that I'm like, this is kind of dumb, and I'll post it and it'll be like super popular, and I'm like, wow, I thought that was gonna be dumb, but people love it. And then there's videos that I created, I'm like, that's gonna be a smash, and then it gets like 10,000 views, and I'm like,
I also love that 10,000 views. That's like Mitt Romney. I bet you $10,000. Like, nothing to him. No, but I get it.
Right.
It's the idea of like,
Well, yeah.
Your videos are grossing like millions, and it's
Yeah.
like 10,000 comparatively.
I sound like such a loser.
No. Listen, I'm all about owning your truth.
Yeah.
And that's your truth.
But yeah, you know, there's once you get those million views, you're like, oh, okay, so this is the bar, and then when you go under that, it's like, it's not a sense of like, oh, I'm not good enough, but you do, you know, that feels good.
Feel that,
yeah, it feels good.
So then, how often do you want to like post out there?
I used to like want to create a video every day, but I started like editing myself a little more, and like, you know, because I also am scared that I'm gonna run out of ideas, which doesn't really happen. But like the actor in me, like the creator in me, is like, what if I don't know? What if I'm bad at my job, or like what, as an actor, you're always insecure.
Yeah.
There's like this line of like completely insecure and like egomaniac.
Yeah.
And like I try and stay like in the middle because both extremes are terrible.
Yeah, I think I call that confidence.
Yeah.
I had a really great talk with one of my friends the other day about the difference between arrogance and confidence, and the idea of just knowing that you can do it and you're good at it versus like thinking you're better than everyone else.
Yeah, no, I would never think that. Yeah.
No, fair. But you don't just do Instagram; you also act.
Yeah.
So I guess I have the next question would be, what is your ultimate goal? Like, do you want to be an actor?
Well, yeah, I
star,
mean the social media thing is just a perk of being an actor. For me, it's not. For me, it's not a means to an end. Like my dream has always been to be in a show, and or on TV and movies, on stage. So like for me, the dream is right now is to be on a TV show, and just my goal has always been to just be a working actor.
And are you auditioning?
Yeah, all the time.
What's that process like? Is it you call your agent and then they
well, my agent will submit me for things, and then she'll call me and be like, they want to see you for this, and I'll go and I'll wait in line and I'll do the audition, and sometimes I'll get it, and most times I won't, because that's the way it works. It's like you book 2 and then you lose 100.
And are you meeting all the other people who like their show just got canceled, so they're also
that
in
happens
line?
a lot.
Sort of
Like
thing?
there's it's a hard industry because one day I could get booked to be a series regular on a new TV show, and I shoot for 3 months and then it doesn't get picked up. So then it's like, oh well, you get paid, which is great, but it's not the it's not the answer that you were looking for.
The exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me, like, and for many actors, we just want to work off of our craft and what we do. So you think once you get booked for like a show, that this is it. You're gonna make your money off of your dream, and sometimes it takes a little longer than.
So what about dating? What is that like being? Again, I'll call you an Instagram influencer. Do you get people like, oh my god, you're the guy from the videos? Like, what's that process like?
that happens sometimes.
Okay.
People will recognize me, but I'm not like walking around with glasses like, oh my god, I'm so famous. No, I mean, but there's people that I've followed on Instagram and I recognize them on the street.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are people, and being a normal 20-something, I'll be 30 this year.
Okay, yes.
On the apps and dating, yeah, there's people that are like, oh, love your stuff. There was one time I was on one of the apps, and actually, I'm not gonna give this.
No, come on.
I don't want to give them my energy.
Okay, yes.
So like I said, I dress up in wigs, and I like to toe the line of like masculine and feminine. That is so fun to me because I think that we are all built and we have both.
Fair, yeah, we do.
And we should honor that and enjoy it. So I do a lot of videos about masculinity and like, hey girl, like whatever, because that's part of who I am.
Yeah.
And I was on on one of the apps, and a guy messaged me, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? Love your stuff. You're so talented. Blah 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 blah." And then I was like, "Cool. Like, what's up? You got pics? Like, whatever."
Do you like that? Okay. Do you like when someone recognizes you, or would you just prefer fly under the radar? Like,
of course,
help the people out.
Of course,
So you want that? Okay.
I mean, it's not. I'm not like looking like I don't go to a party and I'm like, who knows who I am?
Yeah.
Like.
But it doesn't turn you off if they're like, I like your stuff.
When someone tells you, hey, Daniel, I love what you're doing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, that makes you feel good. It makes you feel that someone cares.
Yeah.
Just like when you're in school and your teacher says, good job, A+. It's like, oh my God, yes.
It's working.
And it's not a sense of validation because of me. It's a sense of validation because of the work that I put out. Because sometimes people are like, you're so handsome. And like, for me, that's like, okay, thank you. That's surface, but when people are like, you're so witty or you're so funny, that feels so good because that takes work, I feel.
Right, I derailed you. Keep going.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, dating. So whatever, the guy was like, I was like, oh, do you have pics? He's like, oh, I'm not really into feminine guys. So I went into the whole thing. I'm like, what? Like, you said you like my videos, and I make fun of dudes that don't like femme guys or like have this really ridiculous, but yet you're doing it. And I just realized like that's where we are, and I was just like, whatever, block.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny because people do recognize, and like I've had people on the apps be like, hey Megan, or like, hey Jalissa, and I think it's hilarious. But the
other day I was in a bathroom, literally just trying to pee, and someone said "gripes with Grimes," and I was like, "Woo! I need my sunglasses." Like
where? That's my security.
Thank you.
Security.
I need you to step back 3 steps, please. Like,
me, sorry. This is my personal space.
No, but you're right. It feels good. It feels like people are at least watching.
Well, but you know what? For me, like, I also get very self-conscious when someone compliments me and tells me like, "Oh, you're so great." Like, I think it's one of these things like I've learned to like not accept love, but like that's been the life that I've lived is like, oh, just like deflect.
Yeah.
But it's okay to look someone in the eye and say thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
That's the best.
And move along. You don't have to like make it about you for like 5 minutes, but I do see myself being like, no, like, oh, please. And just, it's okay to say thank you.
Oh, I always, listen, I realize in that.
Like,
I'm like, thank
so
you.
much.
What was your favorite part? You tuning in next week? So, no.
Yeah, which is your favorite. Well, yeah, you want to gauge. They're like, yeah, it's fun.
Wait, so what is it something about this world, either Instagram celebrity or in your auditions, that you didn't know before that you've learned being in it? Because I feel like there's a lot of people that want to audition, so like spare them a mistake or two, or like something.
You have to put in the work. I always say, because I just because like people recognize me or I have a million views doesn't mean that I shouldn't put in as much work as every other actor out there that is trying to do exactly what I'm trying to do. I sit in the audition room. I go to class. When I can afford it. I put in my work. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
So if you come to New York or LA or wherever it is you are, and you think that like you deserve something, you don't deserve anything.
Fair.
There's people that have worked in this industry and they're 50 years old and they've never had a break, and they finally get a break, and it's like, but they've been putting in the work. There's plenty of people that you've seen on tons of Law and Order and all these shows doing under 5 lines for years, and they're getting their paycheck and they're working. Yep. You know what I mean? So if you're looking to be a famous person or to like, if you're looking to go viral, like that's not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
And that's something I've learned. But I was always one of those people, like when I was an extra on Smash and an extra on Law and Order, I was always excited to be in it because this was always a dream. Yeah. So it's like, I was never like, when's lunch? Or, because...
So I'm hearing also just enjoy the moment.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy it, because if I was always thinking about when the big break is happening or when, I'm going to book something, then I wouldn't be in the joy of what I was doing. Yeah. And that's a conversation I had with my mom before I started making every video, because I would like call her and, complain about how I didn't get an audition and this, that, and the other. And she's like, remember when you just used to make those videos at home when you were a little kid and like you have so much fun with your sister doing that? And I was like, you're right. She's like, why don't you do that now? I'm like, because I need to make money. Like, But then I did. I started making little videos and posting them on Instagram for whoever would want to see. And then lo and behold, people were watching and I keep doing it and it keeps being fun. Like, I will sit and watch my own videos because I had so much fun making them, and I laugh. If I don't laugh at myself, then I don't think anyone else will.
Fair. Johnny, final note. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? What do you want to be doing? Maybe Brad Pitt. Well, doing Brad Pitt and being Brad Pitt. Is that
no? In 10 years, Brad Pitt is not gonna be. Fair. No, I'm just kidding. Fair. That's so mean and ages.
It happens.
But it is what it is. I'm not gonna be the same in 10 years. In 10 years, I would like to be happy with who I am, happier with who I am than I am today. I'd like to be working off my craft 100%. Because right now it's like 75.
Okay.
I'd like to be a dad.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's very important to me to like give.
How many kids?
I'll just go with the flow, one at a time.
Yeah.
4, but preferably.
I'll go with the 4, but.
Oh God! Don't bring that up on our first date.
Yeah. The world is knowing that millions of people just found out.
Be ready.
AKA my 5 subscribers.
What else? And I'd like to be doing more philanthropic work for sure.
I love that. Well, Johnny, thank you so much for coming. I learned so much about the world. I learned so much about you. The acting world. I learned a lot. And yeah, so thank you for taking the time.
Well, thank you for having me.
Millennials, lazy, don't vote, too idealistic, not hardworking enough. You know what I think? All of these narratives are false. In fact, we're one of the most innovative, hardest working generations out there. Think about it. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all created by millennials. Just because we're not toiling away in a factory for 8 hours a day doesn't mean we're not hard working. Just because we want a career that fulfills us and gives us excitement doesn't mean we're too idealistic. America, please stop making fun of my generation. Oprah has this great saying. She says, "Other women make me proud to spell my name, W-O-M-E-N. And you know what I say? I say other millennials make me proud to spell my name, M-I-L-L. Regardless, you'll get the idea. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, let me know that too. Just tune in next week to Daniel's Desk.